I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make when on a weight loss journey today is by buying products that are protein washed on front of package labeling.
Oh, yeah.
So like ultra processed foods that claim to be good sources of protein.
Yeah.
You know, it'll say great source of protein. You look on the back, it's got 8 grams of protein, but then 300 calories.
Right. And there's a lot of times it's the most frustrating for me is all of the processed like protein bars or food bars. I mean, what are they mostly? They're mostly sugar and carbohydrates. They're mostly some type of sticky syrup, whether that's like a, juice concentrate or a date or something that is just a gelatinous sugar to hold all those like grains together and whatever like vegetarian based protein they've added to it. And you can't, unfortunately, when you have that many ingredients on a label, and I've seen you post like my protein bar and it's like a piece of beef or like a hard-boiled egg. There's so many times when the snacks I have in my, like my purse for my kids or in the center console, it's like, it's chopsticks, it's Brahmi, or it's the Brahmi beans, it's olive packs from Thrive Market, it's the biltong beef jerky from Kalahari. My kids are so used to eating those like single ingredient foods. And I think if you can stick to that, it simplifies everything. I saw that there was a study looking at different income women and found that lower income women who cook more are healthier than women who are financially more well off, but are outsourcing meals. And it makes perfect sense. You have no control of the ingredients. You are relying on the restaurant to provide enough protein. I mean, even right before we got here, you were talking about a meal that you love and how you get the beef tartare twice.
Yeah.
It's like it takes a lot of work to get the protein that you need. And I just had that experience. I in between these podcasts, I stopped at Earth Bar and I got like this pesto chicken salad and then I got the side of chicken soup. And he's like, are these both for you? And I'm like, yes, but it takes work and it takes understanding like what does 6 to 8 to 10 ounces of protein look like? But when I eat that way, I'll leave here today. I'll probably sit in a little bit of traffic, but I won't need another meal for 5 to 6 hours. And that calm feeling changes your relationship with food. And that's always what I want for my clients is food freedom. Is food freedom so that you can make the right choices for your body of what it essentially needs. Essential amino acids, essential fatty acids.
Amen. Yeah, even like a whole egg is still a significant source of fat. I'm not saying it's not healthy.
Yeah.
It's a really healthy source of fats and micronutrients, choline, all that stuff. But like even an egg is, I believe it's mostly fat calories.
Yeah, and it's not
protein.
Exactly right. And it's not mostly protein, and it's actually protein inefficient. When you think about an egg being 6 grams of protein, that's a big wake-up call for a lot of people. When I sit down and we go through the daily log and I look at breakfast and they've had a 2-egg scramble and they've had 12 grams of protein, when that meal could be 50 or 60 grams of protein, what would that do to your entire day, especially the choices you're making the rest of the day? But how can we be a little bit more efficient? And when you think of like grass-fed beef or fish, or even like a poultry, like a chicken or something, the density of protein per ounce is so much higher. And then when you start to compare proteins like salmon versus grass-fed beef, and you've talked about this too, it's those micronutrient levels and all of the B vitamins that come with that, all the minerals that come with that. We talk about mitochondrial function and blood sugar balance and insulin sensitivity. All of those are affected by the micronutrients in your food too. So how can we get efficient? And yeah, I've actually been really happy about the trends I've seen. I'm not on TikTok as much, so don't find me there. But a girl on my team, Kylie, who's in marketing, sent me like the viral beef bowl. And it's basically like a ground beef bowl with cottage cheese. And you're like, all right, 2 like solid sources of protein. I'm into it. And they add some sweet potato and some avocado to it. And some people are doing like hot honey, their variation. But mostly I'm just looking at that going, this is teaching the younger generations that they should be prioritizing this protein and I think if we were to beef bowl a Genius Life bowl, it'd probably be blueberries, beef.
Hell yeah. No, I love that. That's such a shift.
It is.
Compared to like the bowls of yore, the health bowls of yore, like, grain bowls or like,
quinoa, lentils, cabbage, coleslaw, like all the
It's like
all the
that
fiber,
looks-
starch, and farts.
Exactly. Oh yeah, it's like that looks great, but I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch like farting in the next hour. You know.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about that too. And I'm a huge proponent of fiber and greens, but not to the point where you are bloated, not fitting in your jeans, feeling like you're having a hard time digesting food. Like I love the feeling of, the Fab Four is in order for a reason: protein, fat, fiber, greens. Like you can get away with eating a large source of protein and like a cup of broccoli and not feel super bloated and feel good and keep it simple. And I think that is another way that I help people lose weight to get to their bikini body or whatever, is going back, like I said, with those snacks to single ingredient foods. And even with your plates, like the meals that I make are so simple. It can give Chris a thing of protein to barbecue. I'll roast up some veggies and we'll call it a day. It's very, very simple. And yeah, there are some packaged foods that I love. Like we were talking about Jesse and Ben's. They're doing some like tallow oil French fries, but it's potatoes, tallow, and sea salt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that makes my life easier. And my kids don't have to eat French fries out, but we feel like it's fun. And we throw some, a burger patty on the plate with some avocado and some Primal Kitchen ketchup. And they're like, this is the best thing ever, Mom.
This is so interesting. Like, because French fries, when most people picture French fries, they're like the archetypal junk food, right?
Sure.
But French fries can be completely healthy.
Yeah.
Right? Like a potato is actually a fairly nutrient dense food. It's very satiating.
Yeah.
Naturally. It's a great source of potassium. It's a good source of fiber. It's the problem is when you're getting French fries in the restaurant setting, as most people do, it's like they're getting potatoes that have been fried in oil that's been sitting in the fryer for hours, if not days.
Yeah. And actually, a lot of times they're double fried. So they're fried first at the facility and then sent to the restaurant. So like, I was so excited that Steak and Shake was like moving towards tallow fries. I like even reshared their Instagram. I was like, this is a great step in the right direction. Like, let's start to pull some seed oils out so we can all enjoy eating out again, But when you pull back the curtain, the biggest purveyor of frozen French fries does like a pre-fry and then uses like caking agents and all kinds of stuff. And the fries that they're getting are, yes, being fried in tallow, but
they were pre-fried.
They're pre-fried. And so when you think about something being pre-fried and then sitting, thankfully they're frozen, so that oxidation isn't happening. But that double fry is like double oxidation.
Yeah, but if you're talking about fries that you make in your own house with a chemically stable oil, my preference would be like I don't know if you feel differently, but I would probably choose like an avocado oil.
Oh yeah.
Just because, I don't necessarily see like a benefit to adding more like saturated fat to the diet. Like I'm not one of these like tallow fanboys necessarily. I think tallow tastes great. Don't get me wrong.
Indoor kid and not a tallow fan.
Yeah, I just
noted.
Like I think monounsaturated fat for me, like especially because
brain health, avocado oil,
and I'm
oil.
like an ApoE4 carrier, so I'm trying not to jack my LDL to like.
Yeah, and it will do that.
Yeah, I see no reason to do that if the fat in question is like an added fat. I don't limit my saturated fat from whole foods. But yeah, like when making French fries at home in whatever fat you use, provided it's not one of these chemically prone to oxidation, refined, bleached, and deodorized, ultra processed oils. A French fry could be a perfectly healthy side dish. Yeah,
and actually, if you've ever made homemade French fries, to really get them to work, you've seen like an In-N-Out where they like push it through the fry cutter. It's basically like a potato, and they push it through the fry cutter, and you have all the cut fries into little sticks. And I do that at home. Like prior to Jesse and Ben's, I would do that at home. Cut up these fries, and then you soak them in water to pull some of the starch out, and then dry them completely, and then put your avocado oil, your salt, and you roast them. And then you have to like flip them a lot. And they've done the pre-work on that. So that they literally come out crispy right out of your oven.
Wow.
So, as a busy mom, I really appreciate that. And I'm here to support brands like that, CPG, better for you brands. Like a Primal Kitchen has saved my life. Like avocado oil mayonnaise and sugar-free ketchup. And my kids will eat pretty much anything with ketchup. So whether it's like salmon or even like any kind of white fish, they're willing to try and eat it all with a little bit of Primal Ketchup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess this is condiment of choice, but.
Hey, if you like that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.